These are 4 really easy ways of making terrible decisions. But don't worry, actually being able to recognize them is the very first step in order to avoid them. I just read this book from Francesco titled Decision Making for Software Development Teams, and today I'll briefly summarize the 4 anti-patterns described in this book. Side note, I'm not talking about personal projects, but rather work projects where there's money involved. Sometimes a lot of money. Well, what can I say? My name is Leonardo, and well, let's get started. The first anti-pattern is hype-driven development. Basically, picking the latest technology without even knowing if it will be the best fit for our project. Or actually, without even trying to understand if it will be the best fit. You're so excited about the new technology, which you're quite sure it will be the best option to choose for this new project. Right? Well, not necessarily. This can also be seen from the other side. For example, if it's the new technology, everyone is moving to it, so why should I be the only one sticking with the old technology? But again, who is exactly moving to this new technology? Everyone who? Are you sure? And also, if they're moving to this new technology, what reasons do they have? Are those reasons also applying to our specific project? Because if you're not able to answer to those questions properly, maybe before going deep with the new technology, you should probably think about it. So, is hype always a bad thing? Well, in software development, we like to use it depends. We shouldn't really say always or never, and this also applies to this specific situation. Using a new technology might be a really smart idea if you're quite sure that the old technologies available are not actually solving your problem in a great way. If you can test and at least validate that the new technology is actually really good for solving your specific need, then you might start considering it. But again, make sure that there are trade-offs, so if the new technology solves better the problem you have, make sure that at least it doesn't add more problems than the one it solves. In this unusual location, I will talk about the usual path anti-pattern, or as I like to call it, we've always done it that way. How can we approach a new project? Well, the last decision we took worked, right? So they will work again, right? Well, not necessarily, as usual. I mean, the reason why the latest project was a success might not be 100% on that specific technology, and also maybe in this new project there's a different team, a different deadline, so the exact same choices you took the last time might need to be re-evaluated before being taken this time again. A different definition of this anti-pattern is the golden hammer. Well, this one is in gold, but you get the idea. If everything you have is a hammer, you'll start seeing everything as a nail. But sometimes all you have to need is just a simple screwdriver and not a hammer. And after this terrible gag, let me go back upstairs. By the way, this is not a fake background. That's actually a proper workshop. By the way, making decisions is something everyone does. From the tech lead deciding maybe the stack, the framework, to the junior developer deciding the libraries to install or the name of that variable. Basically, everyone should be able to contribute in the decision-making process. That's why if you want to buy the book, I've got for you a $5 discount if you buy it from the link in the description. Anyway, the next one is the expert, which can be anyone you know, maybe your friend, saying, hey, I know someone on YouTube said that you should use this technology, so it's the best one. But what do you think? That's not a valid reason. And the reason is quite simple, but let's make it a little bit more tricky. What if the expert is an actual expert in the field, recommending you to use a technology instead of a different one? Let's talk about it. Well, there's usually only a little set of technologies specifically for your problem, There might not be one best choice that applies for everyone. And the criteria you might look at might be the team, what the knowledge of the team is, the context, if you have some deadlines. So if you ask an expert what is the best way to solve a problem, they may give you an answer, but they might not know what I just said, so the context, the team, and so on. So entirely relying on an expert might have some downsides. The best way to use an expert advice is actually to ask them to bring to the table all the possible options you have, why you should pick one instead of a different one, and then with all of this knowledge mixed with the context, the team, and the criteria we say twice, then you have a better decision made with the help of an expert. And not just an expert telling you what the best decision is or what is the best technology ever to apply for this specific need. The last anti-pattern for today is rage-driven decision, which are basically the one you made after a bad experience, something went wrong in your previous project, then it might be the technology's fault. So what do? You pick a different technology because the other one failed. Doesn't this sound familiar? It's a lot similar to the usual path, where instead of picking again something that already worked, you just discard blindly something that did not work. So, am I saying that relying on previous experience is a bad idea? Well, obviously not, I'm not saying that. But the key takeaway here is to not blindly consider only the previous experience, but rather use it as context to pick the new technology or take the new decision. The key here is to make sure that the feeling of the previous experience is not the only driver when making decisions about technologies, about the new project. Either the previous experience was good or bad, you should be able to actually analyze why it was good or it was bad, and then here you have some more data in order to make your new decision this time. Why did it fail? Why did it succeed? Maybe it's not just the technology and there was something else to it. Think about it. And that was it for anti-patterns when making decisions in software development teams. Let me remind you that if you're interested in this book, you can actually get a $5 discount if you click on the link in the description. I really hope you liked this video. As you can see, I changed location a few times and I had a lot of fun recording it. So let me know if you kind of like this type of format. And with that said, thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!